Bria, how you feeling?
I feel great.
We all good? How's everyone feeling? Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, for the brand.
Let's do it for the brand.
Let's do it for the fucking brand. That's for sure.
Let's do it for Rip Wheeler.
Here's the thing, though. When was the last time Rip Wheeler did something for Rip Wheeler? Well, to all you Rips out there, be your own Rip. You deserve it. Be your own Jamie, too. Also represent yourself in court, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you get in really bad legal trouble, just represent yourself in court. You don't need a lawyer. Be your own lawyer. That's terrible advice. Don't listen to that. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jefferson White. I play Jimmy on Yellowstone, Paramount Network's hit show. This is Welcome to the Yellowstone. Welcome to the Yellowstone. This is episode 9. Episode 9. Wow. Thank you so much for all the clicks that got us this far. All that clicking you did propelled us to where we're at now. Your clicks are the waves in an ocean that has borne us from the old world to a new land.
Wow, that was poetic.
Thank you so much. Thanks, I just made it up on the spot. Just kidding, it's written down, every word of that. Everything I've said is written down word for word on this computer. Even this, even this, even this, even this, even this. Beep, bop, boop. Just says it right there. Just kidding. Hey, thank you so much for your questions, for your comments, for clicking on us. This is episode 9, so you know that we're going to talk about Yellowstone, episode 109, The Unraveling, part 2. This is the season finale, and a lot happens. However, my team is still in an ongoing legal dispute with Paramount Network's team to try to get us more than 5 minutes for these recaps, and we still haven't made any progress. And this is also my last chance to get the episode in 5 minutes, to do a sort of more shallow precursory reading of this text than I would like to. But that said, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, because everybody works very hard, and I should too.
You can do it.
Thank you. All right, here we go. 5 minutes. Boom. Okay, the very first thing we see is Donnie Haskell is still investigating the scene of the crime where Rip shot that bear. And it turns out that he's trying to sort of obstruct evidence that proves Rip's innocence. He hid this shell casing. So we find out that Donnie Haskell's working for fucking Dan Jenkins. Classic. JD tells Beth that the ranch needs a new attorney because Jamie is out of there. After Jamie and JD's big fight last episode, JD wants Jamie out of the trust. He wants his goddamn credit card back. He wants his car back. Jamie is gone. He's history. He's fired. Then JD, just on a killing spree, confronts Governor Perry and Attorney General Stewart, and they tell him that they're trying to edge him out of Montana politics. They don't believe in him anymore. He's gotten old and weak, and they're trying to edge him out of the office too. So basically, JD is being attacked on all sides here. Then we get a nice fun sequence of the Wranglers, a little vacation. The Wranglers practicing team roping. Jimmy gets pulled off his horse and dragged behind a calf. It's very funny for everybody except Jimmy, which is pretty typical. Boom, Rip heads from there to the barn. He finds John Dutton shoveling in a stall. And John Dutton tells Rip to look into Dan Jenkins. He says, look, I'm not going to do these treatments anymore. I'm not going to see any more fucking doctors. I'm sick of it. Take care of Dan Jenkins for me. These problems need to go away before I go away. JD tells Beth to put the ranch in a trust, to cut Jamie out. She's going to be the executor of the trust. Beth goes to Jamie's campaign office to tell him the bad news, to say, you're fired, buddy. Take your car keys. Jamie says for the first time, he feels free. He feels finally free of his father's legacy. Then we go to a strip club, just seemingly out of nowhere, but then we find out that Rip's there to recruit Avery, who's a wrangler and a stripper periodically. And he's got a sort of special job for Avery. We're not sure what that is yet. Sarah Nguyen finally confronts Jamie and tells him that she's a reporter and asks him to be a source to help her sort of put down John Dutton as like an old, corrupt Montana politician. Rainwater and Dan Jenkins making big plans, planning their big takeover, but Avery overhears it and records it and then gives that recording to Rip, who tells John Dutton that Dan Jenkins and Rainwater are teaming up, and John Dutton says, fucking take care of it, Rip, your way. Back in the bunkhouse, Avery moves in. Everybody's deeply uncomfortable except for Avery. She's totally fine with it. Walker's on his way out, but he runs into Beth, and they make out. Well, I wish I could talk about that more, but I don't have time. Sheriff Haskell has picked up Casey after having beaten up that drifter and brings him back to the ranch. John Dutton says to Casey this sort of iconic line. Casey says, yeah, I'll move into the bunkhouse like all the other cowboys. John Dutton says, I don't need a cowboy. And Casey says, I know what you need. He needs a killer. He needs a soldier. He needs someone whose life has been steeped in violence and whose hands are soaked in blood. In the bunkhouse, the boys are playing poker. Avery's fitting in. Casey moves into the bunkhouse. Love that. Monica's leaving the hospital and moving in with her grandfather, Felix Long. Tate is not happy about it, and Monica's not happy about it. It's very difficult that Monica and Casey are separated. Jamie tells Sarah, the reporter, she tells him everything. He tells her everything that happened to JD. This is a huge plot point. It's very important. All of John Dutton's secrets, Sarah Nguyen, the reporter, now knows. And then the branded men pick up, so that's, you got your Lloyd, you got your Rip, you got your Casey, you got your Jimmy. They grab Dan Jenkins on the street, hang him up from a tree, sort of interrogate him, find out that the car crash in episode 101 was actually an assassination attempt. It was an attempt to kill John Dutton by Dan Jenkins before the show even started. And Casey says, let him hang, and walks away, and Dan Jenkins is left hanging up in that tree. Then Beth and John Dutton are alone at the dinner table. They're talking it out. They're both sort of grieving how their family has been driven apart. Casey's committing these terrible acts of violence. Jamie's out of the house. Evelyn's passed away. In trying to protect his family, John Dutton has pushed his family all away. Beth says, I'm just doing this for you, Dad. I don't care about this ranch. I don't care about any of this shit. Once you're gone, I'm going to sell this fucking place. And John Dutton says, hey, I'm not going anywhere. And he walks out into the night on his ranch in a beautiful long shot, a beautiful sort of slow pan up. John Dutton beset on all sides. Sarah Nguyen has all the stories. Thomas Rainwater is plotting with Dan Jenkins to bring him down. He's being beset on all sides. His family is crumbling. It's further apart than it's ever been. Jamie's out of the house. Casey's back on the ranch, but his family's broken up. So now John Dutton, if Casey's relationship with his son and Monica is severed, then John Dutton, there's not a generation after Casey. John Dutton has no many grandchildren except for Tate. John Dutton is sort of beset on all sides and fighting like a fucking wolf to try to protect his empire. But everything he does, every step he takes, feels like 2 steps backwards. And every time he cuts off one of the Hydra's many heads, it grows 2 more heads. Wow.
That was incredible.
Wow. Thank you guys so much.
So I'd like to point out now that it can be done.
That's it, right? We did it.
You're done?
We did it. I get a bonus, right? Just kidding. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm paying them. Because I love the fucking show so much. We did it. We did it.
That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
We're going to add audience applause for sure.
Oh my God. That's live Foley. This is like a radio show. That's like a live Foley effect in the room. Very cool. And, applause to all you at home for following along. Dang, we made it. That was a very quick reading of a very complicated and intricate and complex episode of television that is much richer and deeper than I could possibly describe in 5 minutes. And I know there's stuff I missed, and I hope you'll comment down below the important shit that I missed. Wow, what a show. What a season finale. That moment when he walks out at the end, when he sort of wanders off onto the ranch at like twilight, very powerful stuff. You think about the parallels between that and in the pilot, there's the scene where Jamie and Beth and Rip are at the house and they say, who do we fight? What are we doing? They all sort of are teamed up, gathered together, to that moment at the end where John Dutton's by himself. Fuck. Sometimes no matter how hard you fight to protect something or to keep it together, there's one sort of foe you can't fight, and that's time, progress, change. Everything changes. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's dig into it. Episode MVP. Monster truck, helicopter. Oh, wow, that animated helicopter is landing on my hand. I'm really making this hard for you guys. And this hand is shooting. There's a volcano erupting. Just kidding. They're not going to animate any of this. What do you think? We're made of money? What are we, Viacom CBS? Check it out. Episode MVP, John Dutton. We end where we began. John Dutton is an incredibly complicated character. I think by the end of the season, you start to understand that he's not just a hero. He's very much an anti-hero. He's very much a complicated man. He's done some terrible things to try to protect his family. And he's hurt his own family in a lot of ways by trying to protect them. John Dutton, Kevin Costner, the GOAT. My grandma's favorite line of this episode, pew, pew, pew. My grandma, her favorite part of Yellowstone is all the swearing and violence. She loves it. She's like 92 years old. She fucking loves all the swearing and violence. That's her favorite part. So her favorite line of this episode is when Walker says, Jimmy, I went to prison for 7 years, and when I say you're the dumbest motherfucker I ever met, that's saying something. Youch. Boy, that ties nicely into Jimmy getting hurt. Ouch. Jimmy's feelings hurt. Also, Jimmy's body hurt from getting dragged behind that fucking calf. Yowza. Youch. Let's talk about some fun Easter eggs. Fun Easter eggs. Easter, Easter, Easter. Easter. Some great ones in this one. So, for E.J. Smith, at one point, Jefferson throws his hat on the bed. For E.J. Smith, if you put a hat on a bed, that dude, not in character, in real life, will freak out. He hates that shit. It's bad luck. It's very bad luck, and Cowboys take it very seriously. And I would never make light of it because he does take it very, very seriously. And I would never do it as a joke because he takes it much more seriously than that. Oh, here's another fun Easter egg. The old cowboy who talks to Jamie when he goes into the store and he's celebrating, that's James Pickens. That's a very famous actor. He's in like 400 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. IMDb, James Pickens. Great, he's very famous. And that's such a cool, weird little sequence. It's such a strange, sort of amazing, like, Taylor's like amazing ability to write stuff that's like both very realistic and also this like incredibly lyrical, almost dreamlike sequence between Jamie and this old cowboy, I think is like a really amazing moment. The last scene with Dan Jenkins, when he's hanging up on the tree and Jimmy's there, that was the first time Danny Houston and I met. It was both of our last scene of the show, and that was the first time we met. And it was amazing. I was like, oh my God, this guy's incredible. What a nice, he's an amazing actor. I've been a fan of his for years and years and years. This was the first time we met in person. And it was, yeah, that's a fun little Easter egg. Because also Jimmy and Dan Jenkins had never met until that point. And I don't even know if they really even shook hands at that point. You know what I mean? Like while he's hanging from the tree, Jimmy's like, hey, what's up, man? Big fan. I know there's a bunch of other crazy shit going on. Sorry about these guys. It's great to meet you, Mr. Houston. Very good actor. Look up to you very much. I've learned a lot from you. Thank you. Jeff's favorite guest stars. Jeff's favorite guest stars. The animation budget for this thing's gonna be fucking crazy. You don't have to do it, guys. Just let me appear to be a fool. That's fine. Just let me look like a fucking idiot. That's okay. I don't mind. My favorite guest star is Tanea, who plays Avery. This is an incredible episode for Tanea, and she does so much in so little time. In this one episode, I feel like you get to know Avery so well and understand so many different sides of her. And she's like an incredibly talented actor. I learned so much from watching her on the show and from watching her in real life. She's an amazing actor. Tanea. Hey guys, just real quick, in memoriam. That's a little in memoriam sound cue for you. And then maybe like a helicopter could land on my hand. Just kidding. In memoriam, question mark, Dan Jenkins. Don't want to be too spoilery. Dan Jenkins, question mark? We don't know. We don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. Could be. Only time will tell. Or you can buy Yellowstone Season 2 on DVD and find out right fucking now. Every time you buy a DVD, I get a fraction of a cent. I think. No? The producers are signaling me that I get nothing. I get no money. I actually have to I have to pay to help print the DVDs. Okay, never mind. Please don't buy the DVD. No, I'm just kidding. You can buy it. I don't mind. I'm very giving in that way. Bria, let's hear some questions from Instagram.
Yes, Vermont Farmer Boy wants to know what you drive.
I take the train, man. I live in New York. I wish I had a car. I live in New York. It's hard to park. There's a lot of people in very little space. I'll tell you what trains I take. I live off the C train, so I'll take the C. Sometimes I'll take the C and connect to the A. I also live pretty close to Barclay Center where I can catch like every train. My favorite train is the Q because the Q goes from Brooklyn to Manhattan in 2 stops.
That's a solid train.
Yeah, the 4-5 is great too. I take the G train. The G train's like it's a little bit more of a deep cut.
All right, so this next one comes from someone with a really solid Instagram handle.
Okay.
And I think it might be someone you know. You Susie, you Losey.
Oh. Susie, what's up?
She heard that Jefferson got a chest tattoo.
I did.
And she wants to know if Jimmy will have a tattoo on the show.
No. The makeup artists will have to work very hard to cover this one up. Sorry, Greg. Just a real quick side note about Susie. So, Susie has seen every episode of Yellowstone. I told her when she was getting there, when she was on like episode 207, I told her like, hey, if you're the first one of my friends to finish this, legally speaking, you become my best friend. You know? So, Susie, what's up, best friend? How you doing? Thanks for writing in. That rocks. None of my other friends fucking wrote in. Did you have any other questions from any of my other friends at all? Any of them?
Not that I'm aware of.
Wow. Very cool, guys. Very cool. Hey, how can I help support your play? You got a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or something I can give a ton of money to? Please. Oh, your band's playing a show? I'd love to come. Can't wait. Can't wait to fucking trek into Manhattan and pay $40 to see your play.
All right, Mark's trick. Had you been to Montana before filming Yellowstone?
I never had. It's amazing. It's fucking beautiful. I've been to Utah a little bit. I had an uncle that lived in Moab in southern Utah, but I'd never been to Montana, and it's gorgeous. I'm so glad to have gotten to know the state through working on Yellowstone. It's an incredible state.
Sharstar612 says, I love the dynamic between you and Forey. I hope to see more.
Oh, yeah, me too. Forey's an incredible actor. He's an incredible cowboy. I've learned so much from him in so many ways. He's been such a sort of mentor to me, and I'm so grateful for those opportunities to work with him.
Lashea wants to know, what do you personally like the most about the cowboy ranching lifestyle?
I like being outdoors. I like being out in nature. I live in New York, so it's a really lovely opportunity to spend some time outdoors. And it's also like it's a real community. I think as I've experienced it, especially around rodeo and around like in this sort of bunkhouse, like there is a real community. It takes a lot of people to operate a ranch. It takes a lot of people working in tandem and in close collaboration to make that possible. So I really appreciate that too.
DT2009 wants to know who your favorite cast member is to film with. This is a safe
That's
space.
fucked up. That's a little bit of a Sophie's choice. Like, no matter who I choose here. Do you guys know this? It's a literary reference. I haven't actually read the book. I'm only familiar with the choice itself. Is it a book or a movie?
It's
Meryl
a movie.
Streep? The point I'm trying to make is that's a hard decision to make because whoever I say, someone else is going to be pissed about it. It's Denham Richards. It's everyone. Look, I love them all equally. It's Denham Richards. A while ago, we put up on Instagram, we put a thing that said, hey, give a call to this number. Tell us your favorite moments from season 1. Tell us a story. Hang out with us. Let us know what's up. We've got those calls here. I haven't heard them before. Let's listen to one.
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, good to hear your voice. I got to meet you in Colville. You're such an awesome guy. You were letting me talk to you for a little while, and you have a great big smile. Love you on Yellowstone. Keep it up. Thanks. This is Sandra.
Hey, Sandra. Thanks so much for calling in. That's so kind. And thanks for saying hey to me. I think a lot of times we're out on location there. You know, I'm in Utah or I'm in Montana. I don't really, I know the folks on set, but I feel very lonely sometimes being away from my friends in New York. So I always love it when people come up and say hi to us. It's always a really fun thing to get a chance to talk to folks. So thanks very much, Sandra.
Hey, Jimmy. This is Brenna, Bria's mom. Just wanted to weigh in on my favorite moment of season 1. And I think that would definitely be when you made the decision to go rescue the calf. And just the fact that you were willing to do what was in your heart versus necessarily what someone was asking you to do. I like that a lot. You're definitely my favorite character. I love the humor that you bring to the show and the fact that you definitely show that everybody deserves a second chance, sometimes even a third and fourth chance, and they're on. Have a great season.
That's so nice.
I did ask her to call. I did not ask her to say any of that.
That's really sweet. So if it's not super apparent yet, Bria's our producer who runs the Yellowstone Instagram account and does like about 40 jobs. And she's who I'm talking to when I'm gesticulating wildly and sort of talking between cameras here. Say hi, Bria, if you want to.
Hi, Bria.
Oh, dang it. Classic Bria hijinks. So thank you so much for calling, Brenna. And it's been such a pleasure to work with your daughter. And she, hopefully, time will only tell, but hopefully she makes us all look very cool. So
We try.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing her with us. She's Bria's from Oklahoma. I'm from Iowa. It's hard to be away from our families. I'm sure it's hard for you, Brenna, to be away from your daughter. But my mom feels the same way. So thanks for letting us come out here and chase our crazy dreams. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Valerie. My social handle is at Val, the HBIC. And my favorite season 1 moment was when Rip was telling Jimmy to look everybody in the eye after he got beat up by the other guy. And he was letting Jimmy know that he is a part of the family. And I love Jimmy's character and that he is the underdog that everybody roots for. Keep doing a great job. Bye.
Oh, thanks so much, Valerie. That rules. HBIC. Head bitch in charge?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. We can say it, Valerie, because it's cable.
It's the
Well,
internet.
it's the internet. Even
Say
better.
anything.
We can say literally anything. That rules. Thanks, Valerie. That's a favorite moment of mine, too. I think it's a nice little moment of seeing a little bit of softness out of Rip. You know, like Rip, Cole Hauser's such an incredible actor. He goes from like beating the shit out of Fred to being so kind and gentle with Jimmy just a second later. That's a favorite moment of mine, too. Dang. Holy cow. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. Wow. We feel so lucky. We feel so grateful that you followed us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You did, right? Right? You wouldn't not follow us, would you? You come here, you made it all the way through the episode. You've gotten to know us, and you still don't follow us? What is it about us that you don't want to follow? Is it me? That's a real ass tear right there, guys. Can you see that? Is that picking up in the light? People like to say, Jeff, how do you make yourself cry? And I say, well, the secret is just stop trying not to cry. You know? The point I'm trying to make is thank you so much for being here. Thanks for following us on the various things, following us on TikTok. I don't know what that's going to be. What's that going to be? I can't wait to see what you guys do with this one. That's unintelligible. No one's going to... This is all going to get cut right out. Cutting room floor.
You'd be surprised.
Savage. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're not going to use all this. I just cried. You can't use that, can you? No, use it. Let them know. Let them see. Let them see. The point I'm trying to make is, it rules that you're here. Thank you so much. We have so much fun doing this. We're so grateful for your engagement and your questions and your comments and your calls. It's awesome. It makes us feel really good. And I hope it's fun for you too. It's very fun for us. Thank you. See you soon. See you next time. See you next time. Let me get a few more takes of it. See you next time. See you next time. Please cut. Please cut. I'll never stop. See you next time. Just cut. Just stop me mid.